Here we go.
We are live.
We are live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is day 3 of Sideshow Con. We are here at noon Pacific time to do your all requests show, and as we have historically done, we did consult the Let Your Geek Sideshow group in Facebook first, so we have taken their polled responses. We will be starting with the objects that they voted. The objects. the relics.
Yes.
We're starting with the characters that they voted to see first, and then we will be taking your comments in YouTube, so keep shouting stuff out. We will be going as much as we can in the next hour that we have you here for.
The first several pieces we're going to look at are the ones that were the winners in the Facebook group, but then as soon as we wrap those up, then we're going to take the people's suggestions in the chats. And the number one winner was, please pick up where you left off.
Yes, so we did have 2 podiums left to cover. If you guys did not join us at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., there were some exciting new swap outs this morning, so we will, a lot of those were the top voted items, so you guys will get a chance to see those. Again, also check out side.show/con for all your convention updates, your daily schedule. But enough vamping. Let's get started.
This is where we left off.
This is exactly where we left off with the Court of the Dead podium, and they have swapped out all the characters who were present on days 1 and 2. Today, we've got a really cool display right here. This is kind of the emblematic heroes of the upcoming graphic novel, The War of Flesh and Bone. You can check out a little bit of information about that on Google. It is listed on Simon & Schuster and a couple other publishing sites. But enough of that. These 2 will be the stars, but before you get to know them, you should know their statues. On the right, we have Odium, the Reincarnated Rage maquette. He is a massive, hulking champion of the Flesh faction. This guy is really scary, in my opinion, and I think that's why we love the Court of the Dead. But this guy, the Flesh faction is known for its adaptability, its malleability, and willingness to change, and he was created for the sole purpose of rage. He is held together with the Flesh faction necromantic magic, which is really cool. I don't think we'll be able to get around to the backside, but you get the littlest hint there. He has these really cool nails and metallic elements that are holding him together, and they are enchanted with, they've got runes, and you can see the kind of coloration of the
some
etheria.
of them in here, too.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can see some of the nails coming through his arm, as if his gauntlets are actually
nailed
to his form. He does have this giant kind of butcher's knife looking, I have no idea what that weapon would technically be called. And then he does have a 3-claw spike on his other knuckle. Casey Love did the paint for the prototype. It is available in stock on our website, I believe. This is, I think, by far the biggest character we have produced for Court of the Dead. You can see his base is a battleground full of skulls. And this proximity skull piece you see next to him is actually the magnetic stand for his mask. He does have a mask with the emblem of the Flesh faction, and you do see a couple more of those nails in the design there. But the paint job on this thing is absolutely gruesome and gnarly. And to be quite honest, the rust details on the weapons freak me out every time. He also has the Flesh faction emblem kind of embedded into his gut, which is quite frightening. And you can see all that scar tissue as it lives and breathes in the underworld. So is it truly alive? That's for you to decide. But he does have more of those nails and weapons throughout him, and he is an absolute juggernaut of a character in the Flesh faction, and it'll be really cool to see how the War of Flesh and Bone plays out against his rival Mortigal. You guys know that the Flesh faction and the Bone faction do fight quite a lot, while the Spirit faction is seen as a perhaps more philosophical and less action-oriented faction. The Bone faction is that of order, of drive, rigidity, and sometimes even stubbornness, which Demethyle knows well because Mortigal is his Risen Reaper general, is his protege, and is a really cunning bone warrior. You can see I love the kind of scarification on his portrait. We'll find out more about his design and how he came to be in that graphic novel as well. Like with Demethyle, who was on display earlier this week, the armor pieces for the Court of the Dead characters, there is so much story crafted into every aspect of the sculpted armor, which is quite incredible. He is on a base that does have, it is circular and it does have more of the bones and underworld terrain, but I do really like the pointed aspects that kind of evoke the 5-pointed symbol of the Bone faction, which you could see on his armor. It was on his shoulders. I know we can't really get behind him because Odium is also there, but Morgul has this really cool set of arms shackled behind him. And it almost gives the sense of the idea of fighting with your hands tied behind your back. Quite literally, he does have multiple limbs. He does have those kind of almost angelic type wings up top. He is a spirit-born character, I believe. And if I'm wrong, I will hear about it quickly. And then he is holding his legendary blade, Cryptmorn, which does have a very unique waved blade. He's in my collection. I love him so much. There is a masked exclusive edition with him. He does have the Veil of Mortality, which also does come with a stand. Quite a few court characters do come with masks and stands. We're getting some questions about who's actually providing this show for you guys.
Who are we?
Who are we? We are your humble curators. I'm Amy. You can see me on the Comics Hall, and for the last 3 years and several San Diego's and New York's, I have been the voice behind the camera bringing you product information. I am the content coordinator, so I work with a lot of these products for their product summaries, so I just try to memorize as much of that as possible for the conventions.
Yes. And I am Autumn. You guys might see me in the Facebook group. I used to host the Chat Cave shows with Paul, and we're still there. Right now, we're there every day at 6 o'clock to do the con wrap-up.
Yep. It's a lot going on at all hours of the day. We're doing our best to bring this to you. I could gush for hours. I actually have, I have 7. I think I said 8 the other day because I've got Ellie and Astis on pre-order. I see that some people remember how tall I am for scale models, but I have 7 of the Court of the Dead statues of my own.
Nice.
I actually... let's transition while we talk to the other side of the court.
I do have a quick note. There's a lot of requests for Bain. Bain is on our list of the ones that were voted to see first, so we will be looking at Bain this morning, so rest assured. Also, they're asking, who are the moderators today? Because there's always 2 moderators. So moderators are using the Sideshow account, but if you could let everybody know who you are, that'd be great.
So a fun story that I just love, and this is kind of my, pursue your passions, criticisms be damned. I actually knew what Court of the Dead was before I knew what Sideshow was, and I was a fan of Court of the Dead. I saw the very first year that they displayed at San Diego Comic-Con. I have these terrible pictures I took. They were so blurry, what the hell was I doing? But pictures of the Xyle original art piece, the original, the Colonel Tatterburn bust and the Red Dragoon. I obsessed over these. I had Kier and I had the original Galavar bookmarked on my computer. I looked at them every day. I was like, I want to own one of these statues someday. And I came back the next year. They had the Chronicle of the Dead on display. They gave away lanyards, and I use that lanyard now with my clock-in key working here. But I didn't know what Sideshow was. I only knew Court of the Dead, and then, of course, it led to that. But I love this universe so much. I am part of the Spirit faction.
Oh, we've got Madison in the chat. So Madison moderating. Thank you, Madison.
So all of my gushing about Court of the Dead you hear is absolute, genuine love for this it's Tolkien style deepness of the lore. So without further ado, let's get into some of that. These are the kind of lighter side of darkness. Literally, we have a lighter side of darkness candle set, but also just the more whimsical and magical aspects of the horror fantasy. So let's start with those candles. I believe those are the newest court pieces on our website. We do have some new premieres here, but these are available for pre-order. They do come as a set. Shout out your faction if you guys are fans of Court of the Dead. As you can see here, we do have the Spirit, Bone, and Flesh factions represented, each with their own candle that really captures the energy, the shapes that you see, and the colors that are emblematic of the factions pushed to the forefront in this really whimsical format. Now, I will caution you, these are not real candles, so please don't set them on fire, but they will have LED light up features so you can display them.
What is your faction, Amy?
I'm Spirit faction.
Oh, nice. I'm Flesh.
Yeah, Spirit faction. And it's actually really funny. I got my parents to take the test, and my mom is Bone faction, my dad is Flesh faction, and my brother is also Spirit. So we've got a little bit of the whole underworld united. We did have someone asking, what is Court of the Dead? I will give a quick explanation, but hopefully the mods can link you. It is an expanded universe that began in statues and is in publishing, storytelling. There are board games. We did announce last year there will be an upcoming animated series at some point, which is super exciting. And the story is that heaven and hell have told you a great lie. Neither is the good or bad place. They are warring for human souls. They use the souls as energy for their war machine. And death alone, the all-taker, is responsible for the harvest. And he is in secret raising a rebellion. He pays the tithes to the Celestials so that they don't get suspicious. But in the meantime, he has created the underworld, which is a place where he he brings souls aside that have special energy, and he's raising a rebellion, and he needs all three factions to unite in their ideals if they are to truly rise, conquer, and rule.
And Madison did drop the link for Court of the Dead, so you guys can go there, check it out. It's amazing.
There's webcomics on our site, published collections. There's going to be a novel about Demethyle, the Reaper General, at some point. It is just, it's amazing to watch how this has expanded since I saw those original art statues. So yes, that is the faction candles. Those are available as a set on our website right now.
Excellent.
So
you want to move over here to the
yeah, so this is a super fun premiere. These are what we call cartoons. They are 3 chibi style characters designed by artist Ji Peng, who is herself as an awesome fan of Court of the Dead as well. We do have here the Relic Ravlatch cartoon, Kier, who's the Valkyrie of the Dead, and then Malavastros, who is the chronicler fool of the underworld.
I love these.
These are so cute and whimsical, yet again, kind of pushing those heroic aspects of the characters to the forefront. Kier has her sword Bitter Edge. She does have an angel's feather in her hand as well, because we know her history with the Celestials. Relic Ravlatch is Death's personal quest knight and the Paladin of the Dead. He is holding his Trueburn lantern and his Brave Nail blade in pursuit of another relic that the All-Taker may have asked him to get. And then Malavastros is having a sprightly conversation with a soul and a skull in his hand. Is he talking to himself? Is the skull actually imbued with the living Etheria? We don't know. He does put on the air of madness for all those who see him in the underworld. These are the prototypes. We are very excited to be sharing those with you. And it is nice that Court of the Dead has branched into different scales and kind of whimsical styles that you can have in your collection, is if you're like me and maybe are a little bit afraid of characters like Odium in your collection. So we also additionally have the Scratch and Riaz statue set. They were sold individually, and I do believe Riaz sold out first. I'm not sure if they're still available individually on our website, but they do come as a set. These are court critters. These are actually pets belonging to members of the court, and you may be able to tell their factions based on their aesthetics, but Riaz is the cat belonging to Xyle, the Chancellor of Bone, who is the leader of the Bone faction. Riaz is adorable, and I really love, we absolutely can't see on the backside, but her tail is in like a triangle shape. It's very rigid like Bone. She has a matching collar to Xyle. Very fun character, and then has a skull ball of yarn. And then Scratch is the Executioner Oglavale's dog. There was a premium format edition of Scratch released that complemented the original Oglavale premium format as well. This is a different scale version of the character. He's such a good boy. You can see that he has a bone that has Etheria wafting off of it. Etheria is the energy of the soul. And I do love the detail also that Etheria comes from souls, and it can be found in graves where souls are buried. And Scratch has blue on his paws, which may suggest he's been digging through the graves. And it's really cute. I have their respective owners, and these pieces are not necessarily exactly quarter scale, but they sit perfectly on the bases of their owners, so they're a lot of fun. And if you don't have the characters that they match, this just makes a really cute and macabre display for animal lovers as well.
I love it.
And then we've got Death the Curious Shepherd statue. This is by artist Abigail Larson, whose art you can see on the new in-stock Dark Harvest game, which was created in partnership with Skybound. She did her animated take on dozens of the court characters. That is available on our website right now. But Death the Curious Shepherd is coming soon. This is a really nice and whimsical piece, once again pushing those colors. And with Death, as with all the court pieces, the colors are extremely significant because, as I pointed out with Scratch, Etheria is blue, and you can see that light. Death is observing a new soul that he has pulled aside, and he sees its potential. He is lit with the blue potential energy of the Etheria, but the purple represents the corruption of Etheria, and that is what is called the Dread's Grip, and it is a force that all mourners must fight within themselves. And so you see the purple is being pushed away into the shadows by the power and potentia of the Etheria. I also do love, there are very expressive skulls on the base.
Yes.
Super cute. And this is just a really nice contemplative look at the All-Taker. And Tom Gilliland created the Court of the Dead, and one of his kind of big key points of that was that this is a universe full of people that look like the bad guys. And you hear the name Death, but his other name, his preferred name, is the All-Taker, because he runs an underworld of acceptance, and it's a really cool place where everyone is free to be their truest self. And so I love that idea that, yeah, these all look like the bad guys. They look scary, but then there's the lighter side of darkness, and you see the beauty and the whimsy and the fantasy in it. So that's the Court of the Dead podium. I could talk about that for another hour. I'm even like a little emotional just because I love the storytelling, and for people who like heavy metal and Dungeons and Dragons and that kind of dark fantasy type stuff, like if you haven't gotten into Court of the Dead, please do, because it changed my life, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, that's why I'm here at Sideshow today.
Aww.
So from Court of the Dead, we'd like to transfer over to the newest kind of brand initiative here at Sideshow. This is Atomic Misfit. Just debuted this week, and we are super excited to share that with you. Atomic Misfit is, also, if anyone sees me holding a piece of paper, it's the list we wrote down of what you guys wanted to see. I am not working on a script. Atomic Misfit is a brand that represents and celebrates the unique, the chic, and the misfit geeks. This is all about expressing your personal style, finding what inspires you, and it is going to be a line of both original, created, and carefully curated items that are whimsical, weird, offbeat, colorful, and at the end of the day, inspirational to you. We have a curator team, and Autumn, do you actually want to kind of mention a little bit about that?
Yeah, we have a curator team. I'm on the team, Amy's on the team, and we go through things and put them together in the way that we think is going to be a best fit for this brand. We have Atomic Misfit at Atomic Misfit on Instagram and on Facebook. And if you want to join the Facebook group, that's Atomic Misfits. And that's where we can go in and have cool discussions about all this cool, eclectic, interesting, unique, fun stuff.
Yeah, and we are running Curator Blogs. Everything you guys see on these podiums throughout the week for the Atomic Misfit display are handpicked by members of the team. Everybody here chose something for a reason. And so we are similarly doing a set of Curator Blogs. Every day this week, you'll meet a new curator from our team who is recommending 3 items and sharing a little bit about their personal fandoms with you. So you can kind of get to know the diversity of fandoms and loves that we have here. I mean, just a sneak preview, one of the curators that is coming up, she talked about her love of horror and how there's nothing better than a good fright, but she actually personally recommended the Miss Mindy Mary Poppins musical box because of a sentimental connection she has with it.
I just realized Madison, who's moderating, she's on the curator team as well.
Yes. She is. And so this is a really fun initiative. So check the blog every day if you want to see those picks. We also do have an opportunity for fans to submit. We will do community curator spotlights once we kind of get through this initial wave, and we will continue to feature Sideshow team members as well. So we've got a lot of stuff here. The only thing that is the same consistently is actually the Rock Love and What's Your Passion jewelry. So we will show you guys a little bit about that, but that was covered in days 1 and 2.
Let's cover the pinups, and then the Bain demand is strong.
All right, we will come back to this, but we did have some requests for the DC Direct ladies that are on this podium. So we actually do have 3 statues here, 2 of which are from the Bombshells line based on the art of Aunt Lucia. And this is the Black Canary. This is the sepia tone version. There was an original full color version, and they've done some sepia editions. This is really cute. I'm obsessed with the DC Bombshells line. I happen to have a first edition Poison Ivy and Supergirl myself, and I really want this Death one. This is Black Canary as a nightclub singer. They did a really great job. This is all kind of World War II era pinup girls. So you see that with this kind of rockabilly Black Canary. They all have a name placard as well that has, I kind of love that little like metal rivulets around the name placard. That kind
I do too.
It really does have that like wartime sense of nostalgia. And I actually think Black Canary's mixed media. Those fishnets look real.
They sure do.
I don't want to touch it just in case, but I do believe that is fabric fishnets on this piece. DC Direct does an amazing job with these characters, and so many DC ladies have been represented. There's Huntress, there's Supergirl, Stargirl, Batgirl, Batwoman. There's a bombshell for everybody's personal taste. And surprisingly, they also got into the Vertigo universe because we do have Death from Sandman, and she is a wartime nurse, and I think that really is perfect for her character. Especially, I always think of her heartbreaking and amazing line of like, you get what everybody else gets, which is a lifetime. And so this is a really fun piece. She's waiting in the rain. She's waiting for someone perhaps to escort them or have a nice conversation with them. So those are actually, I believe, both in stock on our website. And then not from the Bombshells lineup, but equally from the amazing DC Direct collection. This is the Catwoman wedding dress. I believe it is based on the artwork of Joelle Jones, based on her work from the Catwoman series that happened right around the time that Bruce and Selena were supposed to get hitched. I love that there is actually raised sculpt on that black fabric aspect. This is entirely sculpted, but those lace parts are actually raised sculpture, which is incredible. DC Direct loves to feature their artists. They've done an entire Joelle Jones cover series line. Again, they do the DC Bombshells, and they're doing a couture line. So I will have to verify if this is part of the couture line. But DC Direct loves to, I like, especially just from these three, you can see they love to do imaginative takes on their characters that are not just the standard superhero suit. I also really like their Gotham City Garage line. And some of these lines inspire comic books, and some of the comic books inspire the statues. So if you are a DC Comics fan, you do need to look to these incredible statues. Very, very nice. Mostly, usually numbered, highly limited edition. But oh man, like, and that the sepia tone
is beautiful.
I love seeing the black and white death, because that is that's not a variant. That's what death from Sandman looks like. But with the sepia tone Canary, and then of course a Catwoman in a wedding dress that is also black and white.
We could be on this podium all day long. So let's get Bain for these guys.
Right,
you guys have been so patient waiting for it.
All right, only since you asked so nicely, this is Sideshow's brand new Bain premium format figure. This is our first time looking at him too, so I don't have the height specifications. But to my knowledge, and based on this first look at him, he seems to be entirely sculpted. I believe he is sculpted by Daniel Bell. This is a Bain who, as opposed to our last one who was hunched over, this is a standing tall Bain. He is massive. His display is slightly raised from Batman and Scarecrow, but even in that way, you can see how much height advantage he has on these guys. Fully sculpted, lots of textures, especially in the lace-up boots. I love all of the detail on that. And as some people astutely pointed out on our first stream, yes, Bain does have some blood on his knee, and that is an intentional paint job, of course. So you can get a story from that, whether or not he's scraped his knees, he's taken Batman and perhaps broken his back. This is the King of Peña Duro. He is imposing, he's cracking his knuckles, ready for the next bout. I love the kind of red rash texture on his knuckles, like the rawness. You can tell he has been in quite a fist fight, but he hasn't even broken a sweat. On the backside, he does have his venom tubes, and we are getting some questions. Yes, he does. He is standing on a destroyed Batmobile. Let's see if we can get the Scarecrow toxin out of there. Excuse us, Dr. Crane.
There we go.
Yes, he's standing on destroyed pieces of the Batmobile. There's a lot of really cool texture where you can see like the metal has peeled and the paint has been scraped. I love the detail of the treads in the tire and the way that he has totally stepped in the hubcap. Kind of reminds me of the way he was smashing the bat signal in our previous premium format, but this is a massively tall and imposing Bain. Huge physique, of course, granted by the venom toxin that he uses. I believe, to my knowledge, again, this is new, so I don't have any additional details about features it may or may not come with, but I am confident he does have an exclusive portrait that is the larger eyes and a more classic style mask. But yeah, I mean, even though he is on a raise, based on the way that we have the podium staggered, like you can tell this dude towers over Batman. I love that.
They said was it Bell Sculpt, you said?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I can confirm that later, but again, today was my first time seeing this piece.
Yep.
So I think it is a Bell Sculpt. But if it is not, then I apologize to the artist, and I will verify later.
Oh, we can go see the Sideshow Originals, because they were all on the list as well.
Take a look. I mean, it's no surprise you guys wanted to see Bain, and he even feels like he's towering over me. Like it's really impressive. Very nice.
And
sculpt.
you're 5'9".
Yes, I am. And very true to the comic book version of the character.
Nice.
So next, we did have a request for this trio of Originals ladies. These are Sideshow Originals statues, first teased during the 12 Days of Sideshow holiday event. I know we had an ask to see the Taskmaster shield. We will do our best, but the way that the piece is facing and the way that we can navigate around the podiums, it is extremely difficult, so we might not be able to show you the Taskmaster shield, but the full gallery for Taskmaster is on our website already because he is up for pre-order. So you guys can check that out on our website.
We are going to go show you the Taskmaster after these guys.
Yes. So, let's start in the center with the Dragon Slayer, because I think she had the most votes.
She did.
So as we teased in the 12 Days of Sideshow, these are originals characters that we wanted to be emblematic of the heroes of genre. So this is our Dragon Slayer. The subtitle is Warrior Forged in Flame, which kind of informs you a little bit about her story. This is a really cool woman from the age of swords and sorcery. She is a warrior herself. And then her forged in flame nature, of course, is literal trial by fire, and dragon fire, that is. You see, she is standing on top of the remains of a corrupted dragon. You can see that kind of blight pulling away from it. There's a bit of a rocky outcropping, and you can see more of that, that blight that is pulling away from the dragon. And unfortunately, we can't get around to the other side, but
I can only show a little of the back.
The dragon's cheek on the back side is actually flayed. You can see the bone because she has taken parts of the dragon to actually, I think we can see it a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, see, there we go. She has taken parts of the dragon to make her armor. Because we know that dragon hide is extremely protective. The horns are also capable of being turned into really cool armor. So that's why you do see the kind of reptilian scales to her arm guards. You see the dragon horn in her shoulders and her gauntlets. Really, really cool character. As a fantasy fan myself and Dungeons and Dragons player, like this is like the uber paladin who has sworn the oath to take out dragons. She has an amazing great sword as well. I mean, it is a great sword, but technically it is a great sword that is freshly spattered with dragon's blood, as well as the serrated hunting knife in her hand that she uses to kind of get into the dragons and take them apart. Someone says she must be fireproof.
Yes.
That is the point with her dragon armor, and she does have a dragon skin cape, which is really cool. I mean, it is all sculpted. This piece is entirely sculpted, but it is made to look...
No dragons were harmed.
No dragons were harmed in the making of this statue. Just a really... And, like, I don't use this word often with these statues because it is so easy to pepper that word in too much, but this is an epic piece in the sense of legends come to life. So that is really cool. And she does have an exclusive swap out portrait that is a horned, horned and helmeted portrait.
There's a question about the height of the pieces. Do you know? You want to go show them your...
Yeah, I mean, I will show them. I did just do the summaries for these, but I forget the exact height. I want to say she's about 18 and a wee bit because of the sword.
Yeah.
Inches tall.
We should just have a 6 scale we bring with us and stack up to show.
Yeah.
This is 12
but
inches.
I don't have the exact height right now for all of them. Next, do we want to do the Sorceress or the Bounty Hunter?
I'll go back here because I can get to it.
People are asking about the pricing. We don't have the exact pricing right now. This is the debut of the prototypes, but they will be available for pre-order coming soon, so you can RSVP to be notified. But I don't... Oh my God. And people are making fun of the fact that I said wee bit. Yes, sorry about that. But these are the
Your
prototypes.
Scottish is showing.
And we did update the RSVP pages so that they no longer have just their silhouetted portraits. You guys can see the figures in the previews. This is the Bounty Hunter. She is our galactic gun for hire, representative of the sci-fi genre, of course, as bounty hunting and sci-fi have become linked in modern pop culture. We wanted to do our own version of the fearless interstellar traveler who takes out outlaws in the stars, because there's a lot of outer space to kind of police and take care of, and so she goes after the deadly targets. She is standing on her own crashed space pod, and one of the fun things you guys can see, she has landed on top of the native fauna of the planet she is on. Now, whether this was her bounty target or not, that is for you to decide, but you can see that the creature is making its last grasp at taking her out, but she does not quite yet see that it is sneaking up on her. She will have an exclusive swap out hand that is not the hand on the blaster, but it is the down hand that has a kind of energy hard light knife type of weapon. She's bright and colorful, and she does have that really cool scientific life support suit, the kind of rocket add-on, kind of like the blaster boots that she's got that will help her traverse different planets and different terrains.
All right.
Finally, clocking in for fans of the horror genre, we have the Dark Sorceress, Guardian of the Void. She is a very mysterious and arcane character. Sideshow, of course, loves its horror, has roots in horror, so we wanted to make an enchanting and alluring and a little bit frightening character who wields a dark magic. Somewhere between light and darkness exists nothingness, and that nothingness is the void. She is rising up out of a ceremonial kind of pedestal, and you can see the runes that are etched into the base have kind of a lightness to them, so it almost looks as if they are glowing with this dark magic. There's actually some fun, like, creepy bubbles and kind of demon mouths in the arcane swirls around her as she rises up, and you can see that she actually has the runes carved into her skin, almost as if they are activated and she is touched by the darkness she is communing with. She also has a really cool staff with which she presumably accesses her power, but is she guarding us from the void? Is she guarding the void from us? We don't know. That is unknowable, except for those that wield the dark magic, like the Dark Sorceress. She will have an exclusive swap out, and I don't have the height for either the collector's edition or the exclusive, but the exclusive edition will feature a Gloom Goblin original demon design in her outstretched hand. So when we do get to the pre-order phase with her, we will have images of that on her gallery. But until then, you can look forward to that. But she will become significantly taller with the exclusive edition, so you do want to make sure that you allot enough space for her in your collection. Once again, these are all RSVP. This is the premiere of the prototypes currently that were teased during 12 Days of Sideshow. We have updated their previews so you can see the physical figures in the images. You can RSVP to be notified when they go out for pre-order, and these make perfect additions to any sci-fi, horror, or fantasy collection, or if you just really like powerful female characters. This is all Sideshow Originals. They don't necessarily relate to one another either, so you can pick and choose which one you want in your collection. I think these are all fabulous designs, and of course I can immediately envision where in their stories and where in their genre universes that they exist. And these are just a really cool showing and really imaginative work by the artists.
Let's see, Taskmaster?
Yes, so we did get
Okay.
asked for Taskmaster.
Yep, that was up on the top of the list.
So we will take a look at Taskmaster. This is
There
the
he is.
Taskmaster. Yeah,
That
let's
sword.
that's like a Matrix
Yeah.
bullet time dodge.
Just, you know,
right
I'm
there.
zoomed in. I wasn't actually that close to the sword, so I am keeping my safe distance.
This is the Taskmaster premium format figure. This is his convention debut, but he has been available for pre-order on our website for a little bit. So you guys can check that out. You guys are seeing right now, he is a mixed media piece. He is all sculpted in the costume, apart from the fabric, hood, and cape. I really also like, and we can point this out, there is different textures and different fabrics employed for the inside and the outside of his cape.
I can come show that.
Yeah.
The back of the cape is pretty amazing.
The white part of the cape has almost like a faux leather texture to it. I'm not sure of the exact fabric being used, but there is some grit to it. And then the inside is a nice kind of silky red. It's a red-orange color that complements the muted tones of his costume. His costume is comic book based, of course, but we did kind of reimagine some of the elements of it just to make it fit in the modern premium format. That was the word, I already used it, the premium format. He is standing on top of a training facility base as a throwback to his earliest appearance. Of course, we know that Tony Masters not only fights the Avengers with his photographic memory and exceptional reflexes and tactical abilities, but he also runs a business where he will teach the hired mercenaries and thugs for Marvel's villains how to best their particular foes, because once he observes a superhero's powers in action, or rather their physical abilities, and the martial techniques, he can perfectly copy them. Of course, he cannot copy like native mutant powers, and he can't copy Deadpool because Deadpool is just too darn unpredictable. But he is skilled with all manners of weaponry, and which is why we see him with his Avengers busting kit, as I like to think. He does have a sword. With the sword, he measures 25 inches wide. So you do want to make sure you have significant space.
Let me show you how wide this is. Yeah.
Make sure you don't clip him on your shelf. He does also have his shield, a bow, a quiver full of arrows on his back, and then he does have some firearms safely tucked away at his sides in those pouches. This piece is really fantastic, makes a great pairing with any of your Avengers, especially Black Widow, especially Captain America, if you have them in your collection. And I wish we could show you the back of the shield, but you can check it out on our website. It does have his classic orange tee with the blue background circle on that. And you can also see his exclusive edition. Sorry, didn't mean to hit you.
I'll just climb up on this podium and step over.
Oh, yeah,
that should be
like
fine. Wait, is that security I hear?
No, get down.
Get down.
If you guys see a red sniper dot.
Yes.
As I was saying, anyways, his exclusive edition is a tactical skull mask. So you are seeing his classic comic book skull portrait, but there is a more tactical armored version if you prefer that. And as I mentioned earlier in our stream, it's a great year if you're a Taskmaster fan because he is going to be the one of the villains. I don't think he's the primary villain, but he's going to be one of the villains in the Avengers game for PlayStation 4. And of course, he's going to be featured in the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Black Widow. So congratulations, Taskmaster fans. And I hope that you enjoy our statue.
All right, did we hit everything on the list? Oh, Soba.
Soba, and then did we hit the dinosaurs?
We can go hit the dinosaurs next because there's some question. I'm seeing requests in the chat for that.
I'm being asked if I am a Predator fan. I will admit I have not seen a Predator film. I am very familiar with the characters, though, from my work through Sideshow. I'm more of an Alien girl, personally, if we're asking Xenomorph versus Yautja. So this is the Soba piece that we were asked to show. This is the Soba statue. We are very privileged to work with a lot of incredible artists, and this is actually based on the work of Odium. This is an original character of his, and we have previously worked with him for licensed pieces because he did the She-Hulk and Iron Man Mark II Extremis statues with us. But this is the first time we are taking on one of his original characters. She is a kind of post-apocalyptic biker character. She does have an industrial and kind of punk aesthetic going on. You can see that there is a skull on the base. I love the way that the camera is picking up that base. And she is leaning against a rusted piece of machinery. She does have a pet owl. This is entirely sculpted. And she has, I mean, this is pretty faithful to Odigranov's original illustration. And because we worked with him before, our artists know how to kind of capture his signature watercolory style in the sculpt. And so we are really excited to get to show you guys that. You can check this character out. Again, that's Sova. It's S-O-V-A. Completely original character to Odigranov, and we are very excited to be bringing that to you. So again, if you are a fan of Odigranov, it's a must-have. And if you are interested in really cool pop culture female characters, I think she fits an aesthetic that we haven't seen often, and I actually don't know if that post-apocalyptic industrial style is the correct terminology for it, but perhaps Odigranov has a more specific term for her, but that's his original character. It's a beautiful design, and we are staying as faithful as we can to the illustrations.
Love it. All right, we'll go head over to the dinosaurs, and then you guys can tell us what you want to see after that.
Yeah. All right. So from Unruly Industries, we do have a trio of brand new pieces.
Love these
Our first
guys.
time. I know.
These are going to end up in Atomic Misfit because I'm personally curating these right now on the spot.
Oh my goodness. These are our first time working with artist Tom Whalen. We are very excited. This is the Whalentology series with three very cute, very charismatic dinosaur characters that he has designed and given unique professions. I do also like that their costumes all match with that kind of gray, white, and orange. Really makes them pop. Tom Whalen is known for his vector style, and so they have translated that into the paint job. And I don't know how, if the camera's picking it up entirely, but you can see there are clear lines and splits where the colors change to highlight different light sources and shadow. Lots of fun colors in this collection. So let's just start, while you're over there, let's
Yeah.
start with the Brachionaut. This is
just
the
love his
Brachionaut.
face.
I love his face too. This is the Brachionaut designer collectible toy by Tom Whalen. He is a Brachiosaurus who is an astronaut, as you might guess. There's a really nice symmetry to this piece. If you kind of look straight down the middle, you can see he does have those breathing apparatuses on either side of the suit. You can see the vector line where the shading is. And there's a lot of fun little decal stickers on his spacesuit. You've got Cretaceous, you've got Herbivore, lots of little things as if he were an actual astronaut. The logos, the patches he might have on his suit.
His little boots.
These are the prototypes, and this is a first reveal. I do believe we have RSVP pages up, so you guys can RSVP to be notified when they do go up for pre-order through Unruly Industries. Next up, we have the Gentleman Rex, and I feel like you have to say,
Yes.
this is the Gentleman Rex. He is a dapper little dinosaur, the king of all lizards, of course, and he is dressed in a tux. He's in his best. He does have a top hat and a cane for his little Tyrannosaurus arm. He does also have a monocle.
Let's see if I can
on
get around
one
to
eye.
it. There it is.
And he is in it's one of those carefree, upper class laughter kind of. This one is just so cute. I lose my words. Tom Whalen did such a great job making all of these guys expressive, unique. The outfits work exceptionally well for them.
I don't know how he ties his cravat. Those little arms.
He must have an assistant for that. And then finally, we do have the Mosasaur. I can't really do the growling thing, or else my voice will go, and this will be the last live stream that I can talk for. But we do have.
His little pat.
Excuse us, Stabby.
Sorry,
How
Stabby.
rude. Of course, a Mosasaur, as we know, is a more aquatic type dinosaur, and so Tom Whalen has given him the appropriately nautical profession of being a pirate. I do love that he does have the little peg leg over his fin. He has a sword and a hook for a hand on the back. Just these are beyond adorable. They are super expressive, very colorful. I do like the solid pink. We've got the blue and then we've got the green.
Yes.
And then the white is a really nice balance to these. So this will be this is the kind of Whalentology collection. They will be sold individually, and you can check Unruly Industries for those. And while you're there, check out the work by some of the other awesome artists that we have highlighted. We did feature today Newligan, we've got Chogrin, artist Dull, Greg Crayola Simpkins, even Unruly's own team manager, Eric Scoggin, who did his Marvel 1 scoops.
Absolutely.
All right.
I think we hit everything.
Yeah, I saw some requests for the Pumpkin Witch since she was moved near Soba.
Let's go there.
That's actually really fun. That's tied to an announcement that we made today.
Yes.
Sideshow is partnering with artist Chris Sanders. Actually, he's an artist, a writer, a director. He's known for his work in animation. You may be familiar with his style from Lilo and Stitch, How to Train Your Dragon, and The Croods. He's done co-directing and writing for those animated features, and he does have his own illustration comic called Kiskaloo. But this is one of his original pinup designs, and he does these really fantastical, really bright and charming pinup characters. So this is the Pumpkin Witch, perfect to get you in the mood for the fall season. There is some added elements to the statue based on the original sketch, and we do have on our blog both concept art for the statue that you can see, and there is a link to his original inking the red line sketch of the original Pumpkin Witch design. So this is a slightly updated version for the Sideshow statue, but we are partnering with him to make artist series statues, so we are very excited about that. I love the colors on this. It is so bright, so expressive. The sculpt is very bouncy. I think that's a good word for it, and not one that I use often.
It really is.
As I pointed out earlier, and I don't know how to better explain this, but the cats on her leggings are that classic Halloween design, especially in the eyes. Like that is the Halloween. And while we're here, I wanted to point out a fun fact. The tombstone says Mary Halbert, and then I can't read all of it because of the way that the statue is angled, and I think because the sculpt is made to look like an aging headstone, but it does says the pirate captain who was lost at sea when mermaids something. So I had to look this up. I wanted to know who Mary Halbert was, and Mary Halbert is actually the name of one of his other pinup character designs who big surprise, is a pirate character. So if you look up Chris Sanders, I believe his website is chrissandersart.com, you can see the pinups that he has designed of Mary Halbert. So that was a really cool kind of throwback or nod to his other designs that we snuck into this. And then, of course, there's the adorable little harvest mouse and cat going on behind while the pumpkin witch is unawares. But this is, it's such a vibrant and colorful piece.
There is a question about Hot Toys. We are going to be focusing on nothing but Hot Toys at 4 p.m. today and every day for the rest of the con. So we do tend to focus on the other pieces during the other live streams so that we can get everything in.
Yes.
So yeah, 4 p.m. is all Hot Toys.
Yes, and then we had 2 questions. One, there is a preview page for the Pumpkin Witch, so you can RSVP to check that out. And someone asked, is the background behind her from the box art? We are not at the phase where we currently have box art. This was just a little display that the graphic art department at Sideshow printed up to better emphasize the figure, but maybe those design elements will translate over, but it is too early right now to say that is definitively the box art. Adam Connerly is asking, do we have anything cable that we can show? There is one cable piece at this show. It is a part of the X-Men collection by Iron Studios. This is the Cable 1/10 scale statue. He did make his, excuse me, ouch, oh my goodness. Voice cracked.
Dangerous job.
My voice cracked. That was bad. This is, he did make his debut at Comic-Con last year. He will be coming soon to our website, I believe. But he is a part of the X-Men collection by Iron Studios. Highly detailed. Iron Studios pieces are all hand-painted.
Adam, don't worry. I'm zoomed in. I'm actually not that close to the piece.
Yeah,
so
we're being careful. We got some distance on it. He does have a Deadpool canister on his base, as you can see. Lots of detailed textures. It is an entirely sculpted piece, despite what the fabric may look like. I do love the bullet belt kind of arm cuff that he's got going on. He does have his scars, his techno-organic virus arm. A lot of cool things going on with this. And at this show, they did premiere Deadpool as well, who kind of has some playful elements in exchange with Cable. I mean, especially the canister that is going off on the bottom of Cable's base.
The 10 scale Wonder Woman is not currently on display. They were asked to see the 10 scale.
Yes, sorry.
It did get swapped out.
We do have an Avengers Podium today for the Iron Studios display.
But we did cover that multiple times yesterday. If you want to go on YouTube and check our live streams yesterday, the noon and the 8 a.m., there is coverage, and you can just scroll through, and there's some pretty complete coverage of it there.
Yeah. While we're here, we are getting asked to see the Sentinel and a couple of the characters.
Are there Sentinels here? I hadn't even noticed.
Three deluxe Sentinels, and I have learned that some of these characters are also available individually from the Sentinel. So if you are a Storm fan or an Archangel fan perhaps, but you do not wish to get the entire Sentinel, Iron Studios has provided individual versions. They don't come off of this big statue, but on our website you can pre-order Storm right now. She does have a unique base as it is not a part of the Sentinel. She's kind of got like a whirl.
I'm going to pause and answer a couple questions really quick. Someone asked what all the pewter was in the background. If you guys go to the 8 a.m. live stream that we did today, we went in depth over everything on that podium. So that's a really good place to go and catch everything. So it's the 8 a.m. today live stream.
It's a mix of pieces by Royal Selangor. They're pewter collectibles. There are silver and precious metals pieces from New Zealand Mint. And then there's also a couple of pieces from Factory, including their Golden Gun prop replica.
Yes. And then also the Bain people are asking for. If you're just joining us, we did go over Bain quite detailed earlier in this live stream. So you can just rewind and you guys can catch it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else there were questions that were coming in that we did already answer today. So just keep asking.
Somebody did want us to zoom in on Gambit, though. He is a part of this base. And I believe Gambit is one of the characters that they are also releasing separately, apart from the Sentinel 2 Deluxe. So you can check that out. But if you are an X-Men fan, this is the absolute, I believe, holy grail of X-Men collections. There are heroes, there are Brotherhood of Evil Mutant members, there are Sentinels everywhere. This is an incredible, incredible collection.
Love it.
So there's Gambit. He is entirely sculpted. This is Gambit as he is part of the Sentinel number 2 Deluxe. So he is attached to the statue.
All right. So we have, and now we can show you guys whatever you would like to see. We've got like another
I saw a request
5 minutes.
for the Trinity bust.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And someone is asking, can you connect these together? Now, they don't slot together like they were meant to.
Let me show them.
But their bases are proximity bases. so you can arrange them. And you see there's a lot of nooks and crannies, so there are ways in which to arrange them, but you cannot physically attach these bases to one another. They look great in display with one another, though. And then
there was a question if this is something we can purchase on Sideshow.
If it's not available on our website right now, it is coming soon, but I unfortunately didn't have a chance to check before this show.
Yes.
He did make his premiere at Comic-Con last year, and I don't think he's gone up in the meantime.
I'm going to show you guys
our mods can check that out for you.
I'm going to do a quick 360 so I can show you guys, like, this is the big Sentinel piece, and then these pieces, the bases, while they don't connect, they do go with them.
Yeah, and there are two different types of scenes going on. There's the inside Xavier's mansion and then the courtyard outside. So there's a lot going on in this collection. And again, there's characters who are individually placed on their own bases, and then some characters who are part of the Sentinel. And then additionally, some of those have individual statues that are separate from the Sentinels. But you cannot take them off of the Sentinel base and put them on their own unique bases. They all... It's a very complex collection, but incredibly detailed, amazing. And these are 10th scale Sentinels, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, people are checking. They say Cable is RSVP, so you can check that out.
10th scale.
RSVP at side.show/new.
There you go. There, hopefully that makes it really clear, especially if you want to pause the video, go back and scroll through. You can see which ones are actually connected. Like, that is not connected. It just looks... Yeah, it's proximity.
Yeah, and it's the same environment. They're both in the courtyard, and there's a lot of, as I said, nooks, crannies, and shapes that you can really nicely arrange the fight.
Somebody asked to see the Blob, and we're right here, so I'm just going to show you.
Oh, yeah. Blob is incredible, 10th scale. Nothing moves the Blob. Blob also does have the entirety of the Xavier School for Gifted Children logo and kind of plaque. In his hand. He's dragging it along his base, which I really like that added detail. This piece is entirely sculpted. Incredible detail. Lots of texturing in the different aspects of his costume, and the paint tones are so lively, and the expression is perfect too. It's so mischievous, and he's ready to wreck some X-Men stuff.
So we are going to end with the Trinity because we do need to wrap it up, because there's actually going to be an exclusive moderator takeover of the booth in the Facebook group starting in just 10 minutes. So we're going to give them the space for about half an hour.
For those of you who didn't get to see what you wanted to see, I can bet a good amount of this will be on display tomorrow as well. So you will be able to check that out. I know we saw some other requests for the other Iron Studios Avengers pieces. We did cover those in depth this morning on our 8 a.m. tour at the booth opening, so you can check that out. But otherwise, save your requests. If it is here tomorrow, we will make sure that we get to it. If you want to make sure that you have priority in the voting for when we start these streams as well, you can go to the Let Your Geek Side show group and join that, and keep an eye out for the polls that we put before these shows.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So this is our DC Trinity, and I say our, I mean this is Sideshow's.
Amy's and mine.
This is Autumn and I. No, this is Sideshow's DC Trinity of busts. These are all 3 polyresin pieces. Superman measures 10.5 inches tall. Wonder Woman is 9.5, and then Batman is 14.5, I believe. As you can see, he does have the Batarang that gives him a little edge on the height. These are all fantastic pieces, a lot of detail. They are not quite quarter scale, but you get all of the detail that you would in a premium format style version of the character that takes up less space. They each have a very nice base that relates to the character as well. You can see that Superman is on the Fortress of Solitude. That's got a little bit of a translucency to it too, which is really nice. Wonder Woman is on a Themysciran column type bust. And then Batman is on the Batcave, and there are bats taking wing. And if I say bat one more time, I think I get a free sandwich.
Bat.
Lots of detail in the sculpt. These are all sculpted pieces as well. Batman has a lot of textures going on his suit, kind of the more tactical, hard parts of his chest. He has a very swooping cape. The light source is very nicely painted into the piece on this one. I believe Wonder Woman is currently in stock on our website. You can see the full unboxing on our YouTube channel if you're interested to see how this goes together. Very beautiful piece. I do also love the motion in her hair. And then Superman also has that swooping cape feature. I do really like how these, if you choose to get all 3 of the Trinity, there's a nice way in which the... we call it like cheating the angle, the way in which you can display them really easily, as Wonder Woman has the kind of pose that is balanced on either side of her, and Superman does have one arm forward, and then Batman has his other arm back, and so these
they look great together.
These make a really nice Trinity piece, and they're
Absolutely.
not they don't have all their limbs crashing into each other. But
Absolutely.
these are all available for pre-order, and I believe that Superman and Batman will be coming soon. But Wonder Woman is in stock. You can check out her unboxing, and these are all from Sideshow.
All right, you guys, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to be back again at 4 o'clock today to do all Hot Toys. And then we're going to be in the Facebook group. I will be live with Paul tonight to do a day 3 wrap-up, going over all the giveaways that are still live right now, going over what's going to happen tomorrow, and just chatting about the day.
Yeah, that's a great way to kind of get yourself recap on what it is you all saw for this day at Sideshow Con, and then be sure to check out the blog because every morning we are posting a daily overview of what you can expect, where the videos are dropping, the links to all our groups and social channels, just so you can keep an eye on all of the contests that are going on. Lots of stuff going on at all hours of the day. Also, stay tuned for those Atomic Misfit curator posts, because we do have those going up every day. And we will see you at 4 p.m. for the Hot Toys show. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And you can go to side.show/con to get all your news and updates. And in the meantime...
Yeah, jump on over to the Facebook group, you guys. It's going to be a really fun, crazy live stream there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, you just mentioned that, but yes.
It's a moderator takeover. I don't know what they're going to do.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Until then, we will see you guys at 4 p.m. Thank you for joining us. And as always, don't forget to let your geek side show.